So I want to give you some resources so that you can take this conversation and take it to the next level as you dive deeper into the gap year option. So some places I really like to tell people about are the Gap Year Association. This is the national nonprofit that kind of works on gap year advocacy, and their website has a lot of great information. They also accredit programs. So if you're like, I'd like to do a gap year program, but I don't know which ones are good or safe or high quality, the Gap Year Association has seals of accreditation. So you can go to their website and look for accredited programs and see all the programs that have met these very, very high standards for quality, and kind of go off that to start with. There's also a planning guide on the Gap Year Association website and loads of data about gap year outcomes. My website is En Route Consulting. I'm a gap year counselor. That's my profession. So I work with gap year students all day, every day. And I do informational meetings and calls here in Vermont. So if you ever have just a question or want to sit down as a group to have a chat, get in touch through my website. And then Go Overseas is another wealth of information. It's a review website. So if you're wondering about programs and you want to hear directly from past students, it's kind of like the Yelp for gap years. So Go Overseas has articles and reviews that are just a really great resource. The Gap Year Radio podcast is a podcast you can find on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, on Spotify. I co-host it with a friend, and we interview Gap Year alumni and program directors. And it's a great, again, just really can help you paint a picture of what different types of gap year experiences are like. Gap Yearly is a site that's run by former gap year students, and it has a database of different types of opportunities and interviews with gap year alumni, on the website. And then this book, The Complete Guide to the Gap Year by Kristen White, is a great resource for students who are planning their gap year, parents who are planning gap time with their child, and also guidance counselors or school counselors who want to have a resource in their office. That's a great one to have. And the USA Gap Year Fairs. Every year, USA Gap Year Fairs, which is run by Go Overseas, goes to, I think, 40 different locations all across the US. And so you can go to usagapyearfairs.org and look at the closest one to you. Every year they have one in Burlington and then one in the Upper Valley. So and usually they happen in January. Normally this is when we would do questions, but obviously, can't do that virtually at this point. So please, if you have gap year questions, get in touch with me. My name is Julia Rogers. You can get in touch, julia@enroutegapyear.com, or you can visit my website, enroutegapyear.com, and find me in various ways that way too. But I'm here in Vermont. I'm happy to help, and I hope that this was a good introduction to the gap year for you. Stay safe and take care.